still on the hunt for one of my dream cars. Actually, I double checked to make sure that the Nissan DLC was installed. So we should be getting Nissan cars, but I haven't seen a Nissan car in a while. So we'll see. Maybe today we'll get out of our bad luck streak. Hey, Milo girl, how's it going? Okay, so we have a Ferrari to restore. Actually, I think I'm just going to get rid of these two cars. We don't need them for the money anymore. Wait, how are we turning a 70? Whatever. We're turning a $74 profit on that car. We never did anything to it, I don't think. Wait, we did. So we're going to lose 500 bucks on this car. Honestly, not that bad. But let's see. I am doing good today. I work today, but I think I get tomorrow off. And I am looking forward to it. All right, so we're going to wash the car. Hey, Michael, how's it going? So we're going to wash the car, detail the interior. And let's see. And we are now going to sell it for 1,006. So just washing this like rusted out car, we're going to make $2,000 having just washed it. That, all right. We'll take it. All right. Well, we've had our best luck in the junkyard, so let's go to the junkyard. Hoping for a Nissan or a, I don't even know what the fake Lamborghini is called. Okay. In the junkyard. What do we find in the junkyard? That's a Aston Martin DB5. That'd be a kind of cool car to restore, but I don't know that I want to undertake that quite right now. A Daytona. Nothing over here that's worth repairing or can be repaired. Okay. Is that a... No, so nothing there. So according to the Texas education system, there are 7 continents. According to the US education, there are 6 continents. Well, but there are 7 continents, are there not? Because yeah, I remember in school, I certainly remember being taught 7. Now the thing is, because there's only 6 really inhabited continents, because the 7th continent is Antarctica, and Antarctica is not. There are people who live in Antarctica, but it is not really inhabited. There's no. It is basically just a research station. There's not actually a city in Antarctica. No, you are hearing a mini Crim in the background. She is on the phone with her brother. All right, well, nothing here that I am excited about. So let's go back to the garage. Yeah, because the 6 continents that people actually live on would be North America, South America, Europe, Africa, Asia, and Australia. Which one do you agree with? I wouldn't know which one you agree with. All right, let's go to the car auction. Okay. Okay, yeah, so there's the Nissan here. Nissans are showing up. I agree that there are 7 continents. Okay, we've got McLaren. Oh, there's no way that McLaren is going to go for, not going to go for a ridiculous amount. Starting at 3 million in good condition. Is the 8th continent a Reese's Cup? Because I'm okay with that. Oh, this car's taking a while to load. Oh, that's quite the car. Okay, let's examine what we can. All right, well, let's start the auction. We'll see what we can get. It's probably going to go out. It's probably going to go beyond what I'm willing to pay for it. I think we'll stop at 5 million. Okay. Nope. It's going over 5 million and we are not going to do it. Alright, so it's up to 6 million now. At this point, we'd still be able to double our money from, but I'd rather make more profit. Oh, I missed who stole it from me, but okay, let's go to salvage cars. Anything in here that I want? Well, there's a McLaren F1 starting at under $1 million. We'll definitely try that one. All right, so we've got 2 McLarens starting under 1 million. All right. We'll check out this one. Now this one shouldn't go to 5 million or to 6 million like the last one did. So I think I'll stop at like 3.5, 4. There. Didn't even pay 3 million for it. I'll take it. All right, we'll see if we can get this one as well. Not want to pay a absolute ton for this. I'm a little hesitant to go past 2 million on this. I don't know what this car is actually worth. This one is not the high-end one. All right, well, definitely won't go past 3 million. Okay, last bid. Yeah, no. It's gonna. Someone also wants it that bad, they can have it. Yeah, I don't know why anyone would say there's 6 continents. Antarctica is a continent. If you're going to learn the number of continents, you may as well learn the correct number of continents. But whatever. All right, well, let's move this into the bay and we'll start repairing the 2 cars that we have. Sure glad they don't make me have to remove all the little mini fuses. Although I guess technically these would not be, there's no mini fuses in here. There was full-size fuses and then there are micro fuses. None of these cars actually have mini fuses. How do you feel about that, Milo girl? Oh, oops. Yeah, definitely when I went to school, everyone's being taught that there are 7 continents up here in Canada, so I don't know what the rest of the US is doing if they're trying to tell you that there's only 6. All right. Oh, I realized I did not take all the body panels. I did not finish taking all the body panels off that car. Oh, and I don't think I took out the windshield. I don't think Shep's disappeared. Shep is just probably paying attention to other things. Nope, I don't want to get into the car. I want to pull apart. Oh, there is no windshield to be taken out. However, that should come off. Oh, there is actually a rear window to be taken off here. All right, back up you go. I'm trying to remember if this is a modded car. I suspect it is. Oh, no, look at that. Rear window cannot be removed. All right, let's pull the inside of this apart. At least this one comes with wheels, so I know what to put on it. Well, it's good that your Mini Colt is dying. Having a Colt sucks. So I guess they give you the answer as correct, even if you don't answer the one they're giving to you, they're asking you for, just because the rest of the U.S. accepts it as an answer. I mean, functionally, there's 6 continents, but that's that's not the answer to the question of how many continents are there. The fact that there's an unused continent, an unsettled continent, does not make it not a continent. Milo Girl is right. So I guess now, Milo Girl, is the Reese's Cup continent settled? Are there cities on the Reese's Cup continent? Are there 2 unsettled continents, or are there just 7 settled continents and 1 unsettled continent? These are the answers I need. Also, why is there no Skittles continent? Say today's a Monday, but I don't have any Reese's Cups. Normally I would. Normally I would have leftover bribery from Shep. Actually, maybe there's not a Skittles continent, there's just Skittles Islands. There's probably Skittle Islands around the Reese's continent. That's going to be my going theory. Go to Reese's continent and go to their Skittle land. Just have to be careful that Milo girl doesn't catch me there. It's okay, you'll never be able to prove that I went. Okay, so everything's out of the frame except for the engine, so we will... Wait. We need to take that transmission off before we try to drop that engine out. Yes, free the Skittles. So is it Skittle Island that is south of Texas, or is it just Skittle Land that's in South Texas? Where you have the field of Skittles. Skittles grow in the field. Because I like Skittles, that's why. I think it's a very simple to understand reason. Skittles are really good. It's actually probably for my best right now to just accept the Skittles ban. Try and eat a little less sugar. Okay, so that engine's just about ready to come out. See, the problem, Milo Girl, is that the Skittles ban originated because of me not streaming or me missing a couple streams. But if I'm going to not, basically, if I'm going to have a permanent Skittle ban, then there's no incentive for me to keep streaming every week. You can't make a Skittle ban worse. After a Skittles ban is permanent, there's really not much you can do to make it worse, so. All this just wouldn't be a problem if you just freed the Skittles. Let the Skittles flow. So you can't prove I ate Skittles. No one here can testify that I was eating Skittles, so therefore it is unprovable. See, but you can't make me stream if there is no incentive. I can just decide to not stream because you can't punish me more because I already am on a Skittles ban. Okay, so we've got most of this apart. I did miss that fuse box when it was down earlier, so we will. Oh, fine. Apparently got cars in too good condition. When you get them in a junkyard, they don't have any fluids in them. Life is easier that way. Yeah, that's why I missed that. It's hidden inside. Okay, well, let's get the engine oil drained. Am I getting messages or text? I'm getting text. What am I getting text over? Oh. Okay, let's move this over to the other side and... Oh, there's no need for that. Let's put that away. Don't need to drain the engine oil when there's no oil pan. There's not going to be any engine oil there. Okay, well, let's move it over to the car wash. We will wash the bits and pieces we have. Okay. So that is nice and clean now. accidentally swapped things around. I did not mean to do that. Let's go to the car wash and wash this. There. They're being nice and clean. There is still a seat in here. Let's remove that. But there, that should be... Oh, there are still a couple of parts left on the car. But what is left on the car? Alright, let's move it back onto the lifts. Yeah, there's 2 parts somewhere on this car that still... Oh, that'll be one of them. Front left fender. Oh. I thought I tried to remove that. Apparently I have not. And this car has everything pulled away from it, so that is good. But let's go strip down an engine. Oh, fuel rail needs to go first. Now the intake can come off. Giant plenum. I would definitely actually love to compare the education system between all the different states. And so this is one of the things of where I will sometimes look at the states and go, the United States is not a country. It's because in Canada, it's standardized across the different provinces a lot more. What everyone gets taught is there are some small differences, but for the most part, each province can't just decide to do a completely different thing. They all need to teach the same thing generally. There's a certain standard they have to teach to that is demanded by the federal government. In the US, that's a lot less of a thing and just more of a states are allowed to do what they want to do a lot more. I mean, definitely during the winter, Canada is a dark, cold place. And we have 1/10 of the population of the US. And all of that population is kind of gathered onto the south edge of it. Like, there are people who live quite far north, but it's not. The majority of the population is within... yeah, I'd say the majority of the population is within 100 miles of the southern border. Yeah, but was Texas actually a country for 10 years? See, I think it was was it the Republic of Texas? I, don't know, it's one of those things I don't really know much about. So Juan probably knows a lot more about Texas than I do, especially after vacationing there for a week. Okay. It wasn't that it wasn't the belt, it was just that I was hitting the wrong parts of the belt. Got it. Yeah, it was basically because I know that the basically the U.S. border where it is borders with Mexico was changing quite a lot around the same time period. I think during that, so if I'm correct, the yeah, uh, and during that time where Texas was their own state is when the Texas Rangers started. So it's such a big engine, it takes a long time to actually pull it all apart. It's the thing with V12s. They are not a they are not a small engine, and both of these cars will be V12s. So what I find always interesting is that you'll almost never find an engine longer than 6 cylinders. You can find inline sixes, you can find V12s, you can find V8s, you can find inline fours, you can find V10s, inline fives. You can even find inline threes and V6s. Inline threes are way less common than V6s. V6s are actually quite common. But you'll never find a inline 8 or a V16. I shouldn't say never. They exist. They're just really rare. So now, Michael, I've got a question for you. So the United States Air Force is the most powerful air force in the world, and I don't think anyone would disagree with it. Do you know who has the second most powerful air force in the world? Or I guess more so, what is the second most powerful air force in the world? guess maybe the question should be who controls it? I don't know. I feel like it's a question that needs specific phrasing, and I don't know what the specific phrasing is. But yeah, no, the U.S. Air Force is the most powerful Air Force in the world. But unless somebody's actually looked at the numbers, I think most people would get wrong. Definitely not the Canadian Air Force. Russian is not a bad guess. I think China is currently beating Russia, especially after the war with Ukraine. But no, the second most powerful Air Force in the world is the U.S. Navy. If the U.S. Air Force didn't exist, the U.S. would still have the most powerful Air Force because all the aircraft carriers and all that, the U.S. Navy is actually the second most powerful Air Force in the world. Oh, it has kept the rotation from the other engine. Well, that was easy. That just all came out in one big chunk. What? Oh, I bet that just needs the belts come off. Yep. All right, just pull out a lot of pulleys. Now, in real life, you would never have this many pulleys that don't do anything. There's no reason to just wind the belt around for no reason. But the front with all the different things that need to be run, sometimes you'll get very complex setups. I mean, so why do you hope the U.S. does not get mad at North Korea? Because I feel like if the U.S. decides that North Korea needs to stop existing, it will just stop existing. And honestly, because the CIA and all that, they've done it. I think they've proven that they can be subtle. If they need a world power to stop existing, then that world power kind of gets undermined and gets revolution, whatever. It's easier to have a war with someone if you don't have to admit that you're at war with them. Like in some ways, I think that's actually the biggest mistake made in the Ukraine for Russia. Like, I hope Russia loses that war. I think that was a terrible war, so I don't want Russia to win. But the mistake that I think Russia made was actually basically stating that they're going to go in and actually going in. It would have been a lot better to basically fund the war fought within the Ukraine if that's what you wanted to do. All right, Milo girl, you have a good night. We will see you on the weekend, hopefully. That is probably the next time I'll be streaming. It's the same way I would be surprised if basically U.S. Basically Black Ops operatives were not in the Ukraine right now. Especially after in Afghanistan, it got found out that Russia was basically putting a bounty on Russia would pay Afghanis for shooting U.S. troops. So I think for a lot of people it would be a chance for payback. There's a lot of troops that have actually gone out there, whether they're paid to go there or not. Okay, so I've taken all the suspension apart and all the tires apart. I think the only thing we have left is to put stuff on the brake lathe and repair a whole bunch of parts. Oh, we'll still get that. Oh. I feel like there should be a way to unlock getting this mini game to auto go, even if it had a lower success rate. Because early it's kind of amusing, but it becomes kind of tedious later when you're just repairing part after part. So I always like leaving it for the end, because usually there's 2 green bars at one end or the other. And that actually translates to basically being 4, because it has to hit the end and then bounce back. Makes it easier to hit. So many parts to repair. I don't even want to think about how many scrap parts I have to get rid of. On the upside, for all of this work of repairing these parts, I should very easily turn a big profit at the end of this on the cars I'm working on. I'm kind of tempted to not sell the Ferrari, to be honest, because I don't think I need to. I'm pretty sure I'll get enough money out of the McLaren that I won't really need to worry about selling other cars. I still have 6 more pages of items. So that's 7 items. I guess I don't know how many will be on the 6th page. So we're about 33 items right now. Oh, failed that. We can still get that. Now the upside is I've not having pulled this out of the junkyard is I can sometimes fail on these once without them being completely wrecked. But at some point here I'm going to have to really double down and figure out why I'm not finding the cars I'm looking for. Although maybe I should do some repairs and get some barn find unlocks. That might help me out. Barn finds might find me something that I'm not finding in the auction yard or the junkyard. Let's not break a engine block. It's gonna be an expensive engine block to replace. So wait a minute, that Ferrari was a V8? There's a small chance I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's a V12 in real life. Just got an achievement for Smash Bash. An achievement for repairing however many items, I'm assuming. Let's actually take a look. view all achievements. Well, I guess this won't be showing up on the stream. Where is that? Smash Bash. I don't see it. Oh, I don't know where it is. Okay, there. No, there it is. Yeah, fix 50 body parts is what that one is for. So it's not even just repairing things in general, it's repairing body parts specifically. Well, there we go. V8. Alright, so we need to start our shopping list. Sorry, will North Korea will bring it down a notch? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like, I understand the North Korea bit, but I'm not quite sure what you're saying. I definitely think it would be good for Kim Jong-un. I think that's the current leader. Whatever. Yeah, I think it would be a good thing for him to. I mean, I think it would be a good thing for North Korea to basically be reintegrated into South Korea. I think that would make everyone's lives better, except for possibly the people at the very top, the people who are benefiting from North Korea being a awful place. Because of course there's always someone benefiting. Okay, it's gonna bug me if I don't find it. I'm gonna do a Google search. If this car is actually no, this one might be a V8. Now that I'm thinking of it. Ferrari does make V8 cars. I just thought for sure this was one of the V12s, but I think the Ferrari Modena and the 430 were V8s. Oh, I'm gonna have to just take a look. Yeah, no, this was is a 4.5 liter V8. So that's getting all huffy over nothing. That is actually the right engine to go in the car. Now that I think, let's we go look at. Okay, yeah, so that is one of the modded cars though. Okay, let's go back shopping for engine parts. I need pistons. And for this car, I only need 8 of them, but I need 20 of them overall between both cars. And I'll need 20 piston rings, which is actually 40 piston rings, but they'll be slightly different, basically 2 different sets of 20. All right, and then so look at transmissions. Just get 2 of all of these because I know I'll need it. Okay, let's rotate that all over. Oh, and we cannot use the heads could not be saved, so we need new ones. Unless I figure this will probably be the same side to side. Now I could save 2 of the camshafts. So I will then need 2 more camshafts. We'll need 4 of these gears. Smart enough to buy spark plugs in bulk because You always end up needing new spark plugs. You can't reuse old spark plugs, which is good because you should not do that. Reusing old spark plugs is not a thing. If you're reusing old spark plugs, I don't want you working on my car. It's only one throttle, buddy. I'll need two of those. Now, one thing I find interesting is that V8s made in Europe are quite different from V8s that have been made in America. At this point, V8s made in America are built a lot more like the V8s built in Europe. But for a long time, they were built quite differently. Basically, the V8s built in America were built more like a pair of inline-4 engines just put together onto the same crank. But European V8s were built basically you could not separate them and have two inline-4s by the way that they're built. Their crankshaft, it would be cross-shaped, not flat. No, wait, I think I'm wrong on that. I think it's their crankshafts were flat, not cross. I can't remember which way that goes. Oh, let's not be putting old spark plugs in. We have run out of spark plugs. I'm pretty sure I'll need two of those. And of course, spark plugs are not under there. They are in the electronic shop. Let's just, we've got money. Oh well. Well, most we can buy at one time is 50. So we'll buy 50. Yeah, I'm gonna need a whole bunch of different idlers and such. Oh. Nope, quit hitting that. There. Add to parts. We get one nice bright shiny red valve cover. Oh. I missed a bolt. I was wondering why it wouldn't let me move on. All right, so we need 5 of these, 1 of these, and 1 of those, and a valve cover. And I forgot to order the water pump pulley. I do kind of wish you had to wait for parts to arrive. It would add an extra element of detail to the game. And I still didn't add that pulley there. Add 8 ignition coils. I mean, I still haven't gotten a call from Toyota to tell me that my vehicle's ready, and it has been like tomorrow morning. It will be 1 week since I dropped it off with them, and this was they. Oh no, let's not put in crappy parts. And that was after, because of the sunroof, the parts that they ordered that in, and that all came in. This tire may take longer to come in than the sunroof parts that we were originally waiting on will have taken to come in. But I'm not complaining because, yes, I am sitting here paying for an expensive car monthly that I'm not currently using. But I'm driving a nice little fuel-efficient car in the meantime, and I don't need the big SUV right now. So I see this as a win. Although I should probably contact Toyota at some point in here and just check with them how long this is going to be, because I am hoping they'll have this sorted out here within the next couple days. Things would get very inconvenient if that's not the case. Now, these are probably the same from side to side, but they might not be. They are the same side to side. All right, that is one V8 engine ready to go back into the car it came out of. I cannot tell the difference between these two engines, but they seem to be two different engines for some reason. Let's not put on a crappy old oil filter. Say so many pistons go in this this engine. I definitely do not do things in the order that I'm doing. That crankshaft should be bolted down nice and securely before you're bolting pistons to it. All of the clearances here are very, very tight. Don't mess them up by having tension on something that shouldn't have tension on it to start with. I just leveled up again. Oh, and I've run out of parts. I don't have parts for that either. Okay. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more rod caps and 1, 2, 3 crank journals. Okay, and those heads are different. How does it feel to border a superpower? I feel like that's a question like, how does it feel to live on Earth? I don't have anything else to compare it to. So I'm pretty sure Michael is talking about the fact that Canada borders Russia along the north. Because what other superpower would somebody be referring to? So Russia is very close to Alaska, but if you actually go over the North Pole, because Canada has the North Pole, you are closer to Russia from Canada than from Alaska. Now, I don't think it makes all Canadians elves. It just makes the Canadians born in the territories elves. Yeah, that's Alaska is close to Russia, but I think along the north that the because we never think of it that way, but the northern border is basically split between Russia and U.S. Or not, sorry, not Russia and US, Russia and Canada. So essentially, we are touching Russia, although most of what we have that would be touching Russia is actually just ice. Nope, let's not put that in. Let's go get the right part. Which is pretty impressive when you think about the fact that Canada only borders 2 countries. So I want to say that's wrong. I think Canada actually does border more than 2 countries, but I'm not actually sure that I'm right on that. Because I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what other countries Canada might border. But it's one of those things where there's like not an obvious this is how where Canada borders another country, but I want to say there's a shared border somewhere that I always forget about. Actually, no wait. So Canada does share a border. It's an island. I want to say that there's an island that is split between Canada and Greenland. Yeah, so Canada borders 3 countries, and 2 of them are superpowers. Must be something really nice about Canada. I mean, I wouldn't say Greenland is a normal country. Greenland is a bit of a weird. It's a bit of a weird country. I feel like the V8 really went together faster than this. Part of it is the fact that you've got to do these tedious cam cover or camshaft caps. All right, need another 12 of those. I do really wonder after the conclusion of the Ukraine war if Russia is going to sort of retain its superpower status. Because Russia has certainly proven that they are not military-wise as capable as everyone thought they were going to be. I mean, so here's the thing. Greenland, I probably think probably spends zero money in its defense. Probably not actually zero, but like Greenland probably does not spend a lot of money in its defense budget. Because who's going to invade Greenland? What is there in Greenland that you would want to invade Greenland for? It's not the people. It's not the land. The land is functionally useless. It's just one of those I don't think Greenland ever spends any time worrying about being invaded. Be like invading Antarctica. You could do it, but why would you? Also, I feel like Greenland would be actually, now that I think about it, Greenland would actually be enormously difficult to invade because they're part of the United Nations. So it wouldn't be a case of invading in Greenland. It'd be a case of invading Greenland and fighting every allied power, which, unless the US was the one invading, would include the US. Yeah, but why invade Greenland to try to take its oil when you can just buy Greenland's oil from Greenland? It's not like Greenland is going to go and sell it to the Russians behind your back. Greenland is in a position where it will be selling to Canada, US, and Europe over everyone else. Once again, Greenland is part of the United Nations, so I don't think Russia would ever be so bold as to actually invade it, because they would then immediately be fighting all of Europe and the US as well. That sounds to me like a losing proposition, especially with where Russia can't even win a land war against its small neighbor. But how many trackers? I assume that means you meant to say tractors. Yeah, I don't think Greenland has as many tractors as Ukraine. Less farmland. Okay. Got a lot of things to add to the shopping list here. So, a lot of stuff on the shopping list. Okay. I actually don't know if Jess is streaming tomorrow. Should have asked her while she was in chat there for a moment. I suspect she is going to be, because I don't think she's out on the road with Juan. But I'm not actually sure. Yeah, let's spend $40,000 to repair the frame. And 3,000 for that one, which actually makes sense because one of these frames would actually be harder to repair than the other. Yes, I did check. I have the Nissan DLC installed. So I did actually have a Nissan car pop up earlier. Not the Nissan car I was looking for, but so at least I can confirm they are showing up. Nope, did not remain to install that. Okay, back to shopping for Ferrari parts. We'll see if I actually manage to get under 10 million by the time I'm done restoring both these cars. I am definitely burning through money quick, but I don't think I'm actually burning through money quick enough. Well, I guess I'm going to have to decide what state to put these cars as, where I should have them from. Actually, now that I think about this, McLaren might not actually have a license plate at all. Because yeah, this one probably shouldn't. This one is basically just a flat out race car. Don't need a license plate when you can only drive on the track. Alright, well I think it is time for these cars to go to the paint shop. Oh, I am still missing something for this car. Oh yeah, license plate. Alright, you have a good night, Michael. We will see you later. Yeah, Jess should be around tomorrow, so you will probably see her. There, let's make this Ferrari from Alaska. Okay, let's take this car and we'll take it to the paint shop. We'll go and take it to the car wash first. Apparently needs another wash. Figure it's pretty much a Le Mans car. We may as well keep it looking like a race car. Actually, that's a very nice, pretty orange. I like that orange. We're gonna keep that orange. We'll just crank up its its metallicness. I think we'll go with that right there. Okay. And now I feel like the Ferrari, I'll just take it to the car wash right away. So it'll probably be the same deal of, I wonder if those new parts installed needed to be washed. But I feel like the Ferrari needs to be Ferrari red. But let's take a look and see what our factory color options are and see if there's something in there that I like. Okay, so the factory color options I have are sort of an off-white, a silver, a nice dark red. That's actually a very nice red. A brighter red, because Ferrari gotta go red, gotta go fast. A really dark red that's so red or so dark that it almost just doesn't look red at all. A dark blue, a light blue, a more subtle blue, and a different subtle blue, like storm gray, a light gray, a very, like, I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's almost like a silver blue, an off black, a true black, another gray, a really nice vibrant orange, and a dark gray. I think let's I think right there we'll go for a nice dark red. Crank up the metallicness of it. Don't want to have it chrome red as much as I do like that chrome sort of look. We don't want, so right there somewhere is the sweet spot. So yeah, I think that right there, a very nice deep red. That's a good color for a Ferrari if you ask me. Okay, and let's put it back on the lifter. All right, now time for the engines to go back in. I don't have the right parts. What? Oh, I think I'm. Oh, no, that. Well, this is going to be annoying. Apparently, I do not have the right parts. But all the parts of this engine are correct. It may just be the wrong configuration. Well, the solution to this problem is going to be really annoying. The solution to this problem is going to be to disassemble that engine and then just assemble it inside the car, because I don't have to worry about what the correct thing is. But yeah, definitely going to be annoying. Just think about all the money I'll make for when I finally sell this car in the end. Don't think about the fact that I'm going to have to build this engine twice. Don't think about all the pain and suffering. Now, in real life, more so than in this game, the kind of neat part about having to do the same job twice is you know where everything is. You know how everything goes together and everything's nice and clean, and it's usually so much easier. It takes a fraction amount of time as the original job did. The downside is you're still doing it twice. It always sucks. But there's different levels of suck. Okay. At least I don't have to worry about buying any parts of this. It'll just be a case of zap it all together and go. Drinking water, and water is just such an unfortunate thing. Like I think almond milk is bad enough. It really tastes like disappointment. You know, water just is very vaguely disappointment flavored. I think that's gonna be my default opinion of water from now on. All water is flavored water. It's just that the default flavoring for water is disappointment. As nice as it is having these big open skylights, I dislike that the reflection off the metal is so blinding. Yep, I like having the light. I would like to not have it blind me. So the neat thing about being able to build this on the engine mount here is you don't have to lift and drop the car to swap between building top and bottom. You can just rotate the engine around and get access to all the parts you need, which is realistic. So if I'm going to put this together in the car, I'm going to have to do a lot more lifting and lowering. So I know you can get glass that is frosted remotely, so you can just hit a switch and it frosts. I wonder if you can get something like that with like adaptive glass. Basically hit a switch and it darkens. I mean, actually, I guess I know you can, because that's basically how welding masks do it. What is still up? I just running it too early. Okay, so we've completely disassembled it from there. Okay, so there, the engine block goes in. Okay, so now we need to lift it in order to actually get access to the bottom end of that engine. I feel like the Ferrari can get lifted at the same time. Alright, time to put in all those. Why is it not letting me? Oh, of course. Yes, the crankshaft has to come in from the bottom. The pistons have to go in from the top. I knew that. That was not new knowledge for me. It's been a while since I've rebuilt a engine in frame in the game. Nope, what am I doing? Let's not put on rusty brake parts. But the fact that I still have rusty brake parts in my inventory means I did not finish here. Okay, so I've definitely lived with the struggle of having to raise and lower a car repeatedly when working on different things. Even relatively simple things as a time belt, where you need to access them from the bottom, then you need to access stuff from the top, and then from the bottom. And you kind of have to plan out your workflow to minimize the amount of time you're standing there, raising and lowering a car. Less of a big deal when you're hourly, but when you're flat rate, that's your paycheck. Gotta get it efficient. Because if you can't do it fast, you don't get paid. It's funny to me that I had the right motor, but something about the way it was configured is wrong, so I have to build the motor in the frame and then it will be the right motor. But all the pieces are right. Just not quite the right thing in the end. I would definitely be really nervous with trying to do this in real life because I haven't actually finished putting, like the pistons are just in the engine. They're not actually bolted. Like the rod caps are not bolted on. Be so nervous about running into some sort of trouble of not being able to bolt things quite up and then having to remove the heads. I would not be putting the head on until the pistons were completely good to go. Oh, I don't have that part. Interesting. Well, on the upside, all this extra building got me some extra experience points. Because every part you install and remove gets you two points of experience. Doesn't matter if you just build the engine, taking it apart again, that gets you some extra experience. Oh, no, I'm putting in bad fuses, or bad relays, not fuses. So I've got 2 good mini relay C's, crap ton of relay A's, and enough relay B's. But not enough fuse C's. Alright, let's lift it up and finish the bottom of the motor. That's my reminder to go finish with the brakes. Still have 2 more. And now I also I need to build new suspension. And I also need to look for what tires I need to get. Because I've got the rims. The rims should all have been fixed, but I need the matching tires. We'll just go ahead and order 4 of those because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the same in both cars. I'll just max her right out. Should be able to enter the number. The fact that I'll have to use the up and down arrow is annoying. Okay, and now the tires. Something that for some reason I always find difficult. All right, so I am looking at race tires, and I need it in 245, 30, 35, 20. 245, 35, 20. 245, 35, 20. Two of those. And then so it's 245, 35, 20, and then I need them in 305, 30, 21. So 21, 305, 30. And that is a wide tire. How many of those did I just buy? I bought one. Of course I did. But I need two of those. So 21, 305, 30. And then I need 275, 35, 18. 275, 35, 18. Is that correct? 275, 35, 18. Cool. And I need 345, 35, 18. And that is a even wider tire. Okay, so this is 20. And that's easy because there's only one set of tires that can go on there. Last brake going on. Alright, so I'm done with the brakes. Oh, I've put all of those ones I need to together. Okay, so now the ET15 I'm sure are going to be the fronts. Okay, so that actually does line up. I don't think I've mentioned the obligatory, this was a terrible way to balance tires and you should never ever do like this. Wait, how have I probably need to buy one more rim. There's probably one rim that was non-repairable. That or I've messed up and ended up actually buying more tires than I needed. Okay, so I've got all of the McLaren tires and I have 3 of the Ferrari tires. Yeah, because that rim right there cannot be saved, so I need to buy this in a 21 with an ET of 0. Yeah, I definitely think I will still stay above 10 million for all of this work because spending money left, right, and center, I'm still 750,000 over the 10 million mark. Okay, time to put all these obnoxious little rod caps on. Feels weird just kind of working on this like floating engine. You can still kind of see the ghost outline of the car, but it kind of robs you of one of the joys of being a mechanic. You don't have to build things by feel. Don't have to try to stick your arms in between like car body and engine and wonder how mechanics that've got thick beefy arms do it. Because I have spidery little arms and I don't know how some people manage to do it. And I need new, might as well buy as many brake shoes as I can. Why did I just call them brake shoes? Brake pads. They're called brake shoes when they're in a brake drum. They are not brake shoes when they are on a disc brake. I do have a long track record of using the wrong words to describe the thing, though. Oh, and we are out of rubber bushings. even though it's at the bottom of the car, I've got to actually go to the lower the car down to be able to get that in. It's definitely just the game logic of that part can't be entered from here, even if it makes a lot more sense in this particular case. The game logic just doesn't want to allow it. What? Did I not have a brake rotor at 100%? Why did I install a rusty, crappy brake rotor? I'm definitely not sure what happened there, but... I needed one brake rotor. Let's look through my... Actually, wait a minute. Do I... No, I had nothing more to disassemble, did I? These are all the front suspension. Now, was there rear suspension that was built in the same way? I can't remember if I took it apart or not. So these are the front shock absorbers. Now it looks like the rear shock absorbers are just rear shock absorber A. Actually, I was there. Why not enter those in like so? Okay, first things first. Regular rubber bushings. I need a whack of the hub bearings. Now I'm going to order a stack of the rubber bushings. Now why did I... I guess I also need a pump. Two of them, in fact. Brake pads all the way around. Actually, let's just go up to 50 brake pads. All the brake pads are the same, which is very unrealistic. The cars in question here would have very different brake pad needs and would certainly have much higher brake pad requirements than basically your Honda Civic. Something like a Toyota Corolla, Honda Civic, whatever. It's an economy car. Doesn't need really beefy brake pads. A super high-end hypercar, basically a street legal race car. Yeah, they're gonna have big beefy brakes. Okay, still don't have the right parts there. I don't know what I'm... Guess I should have just clicked on it to begin with, but... Okay, let's hop over to the front and get that put together. Now at least I have the right suspension for the front. Okay, so most of that's done. I've just got a few more things I need to order. Mostly that rear shock. Guess I should also put in the starter while I'm down here. Because otherwise I'll need to do that. I'll need to basically lift the car again to do that. And that'd be a pain in the butt. It wouldn't really be that big of a problem, but I don't need to, so let's just not. The arms look almost identical, but I have the one and not the other. So the Ferrari does not seem to have a radiator anywhere in it. I might be wrong, I might just be missing it, but... Okay, so obviously I clicked in the wrong thing when I was trying to add that. I clicked on the rebushing. But I need there. Bottom suspension arm A. Okay, so now what do you mean I don't have the necessary part? Did I not just buy those? Oh, no, they need to be put together with the rear spring. So yes, there was. But how did I miss that? How are these not in my inventory? Okay, so got full proper double wishbone rear suspension. Which is actually not very commonly done because it's expensive. Wait, did I? No, I did not install the wrong part there. Just got that one lucky by... Got that one right by luck. Nope, this is the wrong tire for this. Are you saying that I do not use words like a lot? Because I feel like someone would disagree with you. I certainly had a tendency to use the word for a long time. Or the word basically. I would use the word basically to not actually say anything, but simply to fill time in a sentence. Well, I guess this is close enough to a radiator. It's definitely not a radiator, but it's kind of related. Right, of course I don't have the necessary parts. They are still on the suspension compressor. Spring compressor, I guess, is really the key thing, because the spring is what needs to be compressed. Now, I think it would be interesting, actually. Oh, there, I needed 2 of those. Oh well. We'll go buy another one. The real question would be, how many times can I say before it becomes readily apparent? Because I feel like the human brain tends to forgive a certain amount of filler words. But I think there's a certain point where you really become aware of how much someone is saying words that they don't need to say, or how many sounds they're making without actually saying words. Okay, and these are the right tires. Yeah, I don't know. I definitely feel like I probably... Wait, did I just do what I think I did? Yep. That is 100% not the right tire for that. It's the right tire back here, nice and flush, sticking way out. That tire has to come off. Yeah, it's definitely one of those things that I think when I am streaming, it is more I am just putting my interior monologue exterior. So I don't need filler words. Am I doing it again? Because I don't need filler words because I am not needing to stop and think as much. Although I do think it still does happen, like it just did in that last sentence there. Now, the problem with these modded cars is it can actually be very hard to get into the assembly part of it. Now I guess we'll see if I actually have all the bits and pieces I need for this. And actually even have the cap. I don't think that's actually the right cap for this car. I think that one cap came from the other car, but that doesn't super matter. So long as they end up getting what they need in the end, everybody's happy. And I need a new ECU and a new coolant reservoir that'll be, and a new, and a new, and a new, and a new. Oh, I actually have a brake servo. Blah, blah, blah. Once again, I think I'm going to have to remove that so I can get to something to start installing stuff. Just need to make sure that later on I remember to put in the body panels again. Wait, those are supposed to come from the bottom? I thought those were not supposed to come from the bottom. Dang it. Okay. We'll buy 2 more air filters. 2 more washer fluid reservoirs. Only 1 of those coolant reservoirs, 1 power steering reservoir, and 1 brake servo. And then we'll hop over to the electronics for the ECUs and the ABS pump. That's something I find interesting is, so in the game, most of the modern cars have ABS. The McLaren here is an exception because the McLaren is a race car. Most race cars don't get things like ABS, although ABS was actually originally designed for race cars. A lot of the cool tech I guess a decent amount of the cool tech that we get in cars today were designed for race cars and then banned from being used in racing because they gave an unfair advantage. Which I don't know about you, but that's exactly what I want my my car technology to be. Stuff that made racing too easy. let's take a look. What are we still missing off this car? Oh, we did not put the sway bar links on. Windshield washer reservoir, and then the interior. So we're mostly done here. We are going to have to lift it because I did not put a sway bar link right there. That sway bar link did not get put on. Rude. And what is this car missing? All right, ECU, right, fuel tanks have to come from the bottom, and the fuses. Right. So I was putting fuses in, but then I did not have the right parts. Yes, ABS module. Oh, of course, that's under electronics, even though it is a plastic box and does not actually have any electronics as part of it. Alright, I think both cars now go up, or do they? No, I guess this one does not need to go up and probably won't need to go up again. Alright, there's 6 bolts to put in, not 4. I was confused as why it wasn't finished. Alright, fuel cells are in. I did not do the ECU while it was down, but that's okay. We gotta drop it after the fuel cells anyway. Let's actually just move that outside. Okay, now what are we missing on this? Car part 4i. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that was this. So just the seat and steering wheel. So let's also kick this outside and we'll install that stuff. Okay, so seat GW500 and steering wheel Bandit. And then this one needed seat 11 and steering wheel M3. Actually, I feel like why don't we go for those nice red leather seats? Probably not actually going to look good. But we'll pretend like it's all right. It's okay to be gaudy. So that's on the right. Oh, there, that is the right steering wheel. All right. So let's see what the status of our Ferrari is. We bought it for 33,000 and we can sell it for 220,000. That is a pretty impressive turnaround. I wouldn't feel bad about that at all. However, what did we spend on this? Because I think we bought this for what was that, 3 million? So yeah, I bought it for 2.7 million and I'm going to sell it for 14.7 million. So I will have made 12 million profit. Goodbye and hello paycheck. All right, we will sell you as well because I don't actually want to keep you yet. But let's go for a trip. Still looking for my Nissan 240Z, or I guess Datsun 240Z. Should double check to make sure that that specific car is in the game. I want to say I've seen it, but I might also be chasing a car that doesn't exist. Now that 2007 Aston Martin DBS, I might just go for that. Not the dream car I wanted to chase first, but might just take that and file it away for later. I mean, it appears to be in pretty good condition. Don't like the color of it, but as it turns out, I have the ability to solve that. Let's do a quick inspection. We're gonna do a full restoration on it anyway, so it doesn't super matter, but it is also combining this really quick inspection I do also gives me 2 experience points per thing I've inspected, so it's totally worth. Like, and I remember doing this early game. Was I would inspect everything. Didn't matter if it made sense to be inspecting it or not. So now this is actually a very interesting setup. I feel like I'm actually going to have to show this a little bit when I take this apart. But this car does not have a transmission next to the, like the transmission is actually in the back of the car. That's why you get that really weird transmission, or that like there's no drive shaft between. It's not a, I mean, I guess it's becoming a common setup, but was very much not a common setup for a very long time. Not the way that cars were built. Alright, let's start the auction. I have $20 million to lose. I don't care what you guys are... Say, Juan keeps outbidding me. How dare Juan? And Iron Thunder. And Juan's outbidding me again. Yeah. I guess Juan wants this car too. Say, leave it be, Juan. Damn it, Shep! You too. There's Iron Thunder again. No, once. Ha! Beat you, Juan. Yeah, so the game populates the people bidding against you from your friends list. Maybe you saw that rear transmission on More? M-O-R? Yeah, so right here we have the Nissan Silvia. But not the Nissan I am looking for. We have the Sakura GT20, which is based off of a... that is based off an old Toyota. It is actually a kind of cool car, one that I would consider. Oh, Matt's Off-Road Discovery. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely adds just a little touch extra to have other, basically have your friends bidding against you rather than just having it be meaningless. All right. Oh, rear transmission in a tow truck. That is interesting. Okay, I'm going to actually save the game. And I'm going to return to menu. I always forget how loud that music is. Car showroom. Just make sure that I am pining after cars I can actually get. So this is the car I just bought, except for in better condition. But yeah, if you look, it has this really weird driveline tunnel. I'll just drop that down. Okay, so it has this really weird driveline tunnel because the transmission isn't here right behind the engine. It goes all the way back here, and the reason why that's done is to distribute weight better. High performance cars will do it. Definitely feel like this is a car I would love to. It's a very good looking car in white. Okay. So that, oh, I did not mean to go back here. I wanted to go back to the showroom. Okay, now where? Let's just continue looking through. I do also want to get a Jaguar F-Type since I do have the Jaguar DLC. I pretty much have the Jaguar DLC just for the F-Type. So wait, the car I'm looking for may not actually exist. Hmm. Well, that's fine. Oh no, right here. Nissan Fairlady Z. First up, let's get it in a better color than that. There, that's a much better color. But yeah, this is the car, and this is a car I could totally actually afford to get in real life. It's just they're hard to get in good condition, and man, would I just be dumping money in it to make it as awesome as I would like. Because most likely I'd find it in that sort of condition. Oh. And yeah, this is a inline six engine that they put on this car. Okay, front and rear steering, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's a heavy duty, beefy vehicle they're making for him then. And then yeah, so the other it's funny that there's two cars I'm really looking for are side by side here. And then so the other dream car I'm looking for is basically this, which is a knockoff Lamborghini Diablo. And of course this is a full mid-engine car. And that's so okay, so let's take a look. So let's just take a very run-of-the-mill car. I basically want there. Ooh, we've got some VTEC here. So this is basically a Civic. This is a front engine car. Because if you look at that front axle here, the engine exists in front of that front axle. The center point of that front tire, the engine exists more in front of that than anywhere else. So that is a front engine car. Now, a front engine car is pretty common. Sometimes you will get a front midship. I know Lexus is very, very big on that. Let's pick something sort of here at random. Should be something pretty modern. Let's actually take a look at the Aston Martin here. So this would actually be considered a midship engine, but it is a front midship because that drive axle goes in front of the the engine. Because the closer you can have your engine to the center of the vehicle, the better your weight distribution. But something like our Lamborghini ripoff, you get the engine is all in front of that rear axle. So it's not a rear engine car, it is a mid-engine car. Because you get that engine as close to the center of the car as you can. You have the people sitting in front of the engine, but it is not a rear engine car. Because that transmission is still to the back of the, behind the motor. I mean, it depends on the pickup. But now, so if we go looking a little bit further, here, let's find us a Porsche 911. Now, you'll notice that the transmission now here is in front of the engine. The engine exists entirely behind that rear axle. Now, generally, an engine entirely in front of the front axle makes it hard to turn into a sports car because your weight distribution is really terrible. That's why sportier front engine cars have it behind the front axle, so it is a front midship. A mid-engine car has it sort of as close to the center of the car as you can, but and that's really what tends to give you best performance. But now Porsche makes sports cars, but they insist on a rear engine. That's really hard to make that work weight-wise. So it is a bunch of engineering that's gone to their suspension that makes Porsches as good as they are. Because they shouldn't be. Porsches are really good, but they should not be as good as they are. Alright. Either way, I've confirmed that the cars I'm looking for are in the game. I just haven't had luck finding them. I think I might have to spend some time doing repairing and see if I can't do some barn finds and see if I'll find a different type of car there. But it has been 3 hours since I started the stream, so I think I'm going to call it here. It has actually been a pretty good stream. Certainly have gotten much richer in the game over the last 3 hours. Porsches are very much not just a VW bug. They are a VW bug basically built to perform. But they do come off of a VW bug chassis originally. Like they started as a souped up VW bug. But yeah. Porsches are one of those things. I don't really care for Porsches personally, but they are a engineering feat. But okay, I'm going to log off. I hope you guys have a good night. For anyone watching this later, I hope you have a good morning, good night, or good afternoon, whenever this finds you.